You may remember back, if you've been following this series, back in on September the 12th, I ordered a Dazzne P2 Action Cam, and I snapped up one from China for 25 quid with no delivery charges. And they gave a far out delivery date of October the 19th, which I thought was well over the top when I ordered it, and fully expected it to arrive before then. But it didn't. And so on October the 19th, I was getting more and more frustrated. I emailed them in China, and I got an email right back straight away saying, "Oh, we're so sorry. What we can do is refund your money, and you can keep the item when it arrives." Now, of course, that's a very generous offer that I couldn't refuse, so I accepted. And then I instantly thought about it, because quite often with the Chinese, when you deal with them, if something odd happens, or if something they say something that strikes you as a bit off, you don't quite sort of follow, it doesn't sort of quite click. Quite often when you think about it afterwards, it's because of face. What they're doing is saving face. And once you think about it from that perspective, it all makes sense. And that's exactly what had happened in this case. They never sent it. I'm sure they never sent it, because they forgot to add the postage. And they sent me this wonderful offer that I couldn't refuse. Blamed it on the customs delay, even though I told them that the tracking number they'd given me wasn't working, either in China Post or the Royal Mail. It was untraceable. They said it looks like it's stuck in customs, and you can keep it when it turns up and we'll refund your money. So how could I not say no? So what they've done is they've saved face. They've managed to blame someone else. They've left me feeling really grateful for their offer, if I didn't know about face, and unfortunately for them, because of my background, I do. And they've never sent it, so the last thing I'm going to do is sitting here waiting for it to arrive, because obviously it was never sent. So I ordered another one, and I found another one. This time I decided to go for one in the UK. But it's nearly twice as expensive, $47.99. And it arrived. It still took 5 days to arrive, but it's arrived, and it's here. So for $47.99, you get the knockback version. If you order the full price version of the P2, you get 2 batteries and a waterproof case with it. I ordered the knockback version, so what you get in the neato little box is the P2 itself, 1 battery, 1 frame mount, right, that just goes all the way around the camera like that, and it attaches. There's this arrangement, can you see that? How can I hold that up more clearly? There's this arrangement with a screw hole on the bottom, a standard size screw hole for attaching to the bike. Okay, which is not bad value. It's $47.99. That's not bad value. That's actually cheaper than the Mobius, because that cost about 60 quid, I seem to remember, and 12 quid for the waterproof case for it. So it's here at last. It's now October the 27th, so it's taken me all that time to get hold of one. It's here at last. I'm dying to take it out on the bike and try it out, but as is the way with these things, another disaster has happened, and I've just discovered a huge great chunk out of my rear tyre. So I'm sat here waiting for a rear tyre to arrive. I can't ride it to the tyre place in Gloucester in that condition, because there's a huge great chunk, and the insides are showing. So what I'll have to do is charge it up, have a little wander around. I'll do a little bit of film in the courtyard here, and we'll see what we shall see, what sort of quality it is. hopefully it isn't a knockoff. I don't think it's a knockoff. That worried me about the 25 quid one, was that it might be a knockoff. And if you don't think that these things are knocked off, I mean, I've seen them in Hong Kong. If you go to one of the more dubious markets, you will see, you know, the regular item, the Dazzne P2 for full price. Next to it, another one for half price. Next to it, another one for exactly the same looking model, you know, a bit cheaper. And then another one that's next to that, which costs virtually nothing. And what those are knockoffs, you know, it's a knockoff, followed by the knockoff of the knockoff, followed by the knockoff of the knockoff of the knockoff. And, you know, God knows what they've done is they've brought up the cases and they're putting, you know, anything they like inside them. And by the time you get to the end, you know, it's absolute crap. But that's the delights of shopping in Hong Kong. And also, the thing I've just been through on eBay, I mean, you've got to put up, if you're a bottom feeder on eBay, and I am proud to describe myself as a bottom feeder, you've really got to put up with this shit. Sometimes it goes wrong. But it's come right now. Hopefully, if this footage turns out right, it's come right. I've got my P2 and I'll be in a position when I've had the rear tyre on the bike changed to take it out and try it out. So I'll just charge up the P2 and then have a little look in the courtyard, see what sort of footage we get, and I'll see you in a sec. Right, here we are. I couldn't find a way to format the card. So I've just taken the card straight out of my old Sony camera and put it in and hope this is recording. And we're using the microphone here. There's a little microphone slot from the Dazzne, which I think will actually be covered up when the frame is on it, but we'll see what sort of quality it is. And this, I've got it set to the absolute maximum settings film-wise. Let's have a look at exposure. See how it copes with that. Yeah, and here we are in my little courtyard. We're looking north, so that bench there, that's an absolute sun trap. And sitting out in the garden is something that I have really, really enjoyed in the last year in the summer, because it's not something I was able to do while I was living in Breeden, because A, I couldn't get out of video monitor range of my mum when she was ill, and also if I went out into the garden, the neighbour used to come out and gawp at me through the hedge, and if she couldn't see me she'd start making a lot of noise to sort of try and drive me out of the garden. There's some very unpleasant and very, very stupid people around. Yeah, and here we are. So let's have a look at the quality of this footage. Right, I've had to turn on some artificial light, so it looks a bit weird. It started raining. I've messed around with this a bit more now, and just doing settings and taking that little clip. And a few things strike me. One is it's incredibly easy to turn on. You just got to tap that top button. It'll turn on and start recording. Let's turn it off. Secondly, it's all rubberized. All this finish is all rubberized. So it should be splash proof. I'm quite happy to have it on the bike with that outside the waterproof case. If it really starts hammering down, I'll probably stop and remove it from the bike anyway. If I take the lens guard with me, you know, it'll be fine in my pocket, apart from accidentally turning on, of course, with that button. There's this door around the side here, which you can't see terribly well. Let me take it off. Right, this little bit here, I can see that being lost. And it reveals your micro SD port. You can't see that terribly well, can you? Let's try that. Your micro SD port and you know, the USB port and what have you, mini HDMI out. I can see that being lost, but it's a very tight fit, and so it should be splash proof. The actual menu system isn't great. I'll put. Oh God, I've turned it on again. You see, the menu system isn't great. I'll put a link to Tech Moan's review of the P2 in the description. So if you want to go through the menu system and what have you, you can see it there. It's too boring for me to make a movie about it. I think one movie about the menu system on the Dazzne P2 on the internet is sufficient. And that's it. I'm really looking forward to getting it out on the bike. But as I say, there's a chunk out the rear tyre, and it's started raining now anyway, so I wouldn't be setting off in this weather anyway, so I can't do it. I'm absolutely gagging for a ride on the bike, and I'm absolutely gagging for a ride on the bike trying out the Dazzne, but these things aren't possible at the moment, unfortunately, as so much else in my life. Okay, that's it. Thanks very much indeed for watching.